oh, here's that eyeball you want. So welcome. This is what it means to be part of the Plot Points RP family. We're celebrating the Cold War in hell. This is their story for all of you. Now I want to suggest this to our Twitch chat. If at any time you in the Twitch chat happen to say you want to look behind the curtain, if 3 people say they want to look behind the curtain, something magical is going to happen on stream today. So we'll leave that out there, but we're going to open it up. Welcome to Kitty Doe, Alex, Deca Queers, Philly Full, Maximum Effort. It is so good to have you here tonight on Plot Points. Let's get right into it. You guys get 60 seconds to do a quick welcome, starting with Deca Queers, Narrata Stranger. You start us off with a welcome to everybody and pass it off.
Yeah, hi, I'm Stranger. You can find me at Deca Queers on Twitter, where we do a queer podcast. It's also D&D. It's pretty cool. Other than that, I do a lot of D&D stuff, but mostly it's the Deca Queer stuff. And here, shouting it off to, let's go to Kitty.
Hi, I'm Kitty Doe. I run a YouTube channel. I will be having a video that's posting up later tonight, like 15 minutes after the stream. I play the cleric. I will pass it off to Alex.
Hey, I'm Alex. I do a podcast sometimes. I play a tiefling named Rembrandt who currently has a severed goblin head in his lap. He's not having a good day, but I'm having a great day because all of you guys are here and I'm playing D&D. By the way, Sean, check your Discord DMs real quick. Let's toss it over to Eric.
Woo! Thanks, Alex. Hey, I'm Eric. I play the brooding rock monster known as B.O.S.E. I don't do anything else other than this, so this is pretty much where you can find me. So keep on coming back. And other than that, I hope everybody's having a great week, and I hope you enjoy this session. I'm gonna send it off to Colton.
Hey, thanks everybody for showing up. Really enjoy doing this. It's been awesome. Yeah, I play Clack, a goblin barbarian, and I think I have my sword in somebody right now. So I'm happy. I don't know.
That's right. I almost forgot about that.
Pass it off. Next.
Sean.
Oh, me. That's it? Okay. Yep. Cool. Sorry, I was answering Rock Sauce. Rock Sauce has my attention. Hey, I'm a gamer dad. Love D&D. Been doing this for freaking forever and a day. Which is why these guys always like sit there and make fun of me before the show starts when they're starting to talk about old editions and whatnot and getting me talking like some grandpa, which I am not. Thank you very much.
Don't let them fool you.
Yeah.
Hey, I still
am not
know
a grandpa.
Taco.
My wife would be very happy if I was. She wants grandbabies. Anyway, so saying that's a whole other fantasy campaign. This one's right here where our cleric Huxley has just walked up to the big old golem B.O.S.E. He's not really a golem, but I'll let him describe that. Who goes, here you go, boop, have the eyeball that you wanted. And that's where we're picking it up. I think there's a shocked
I
awe.
believe it's a successful eye transfer.
I'm gonna shape water the vomit off my hand from where I tried to grab the head, and then Remy threw up everywhere. And I'm gonna say, was that part of the plan? Was this what we? That is not. Okay. Dibs, and I start going through the pockets of the of the dead goblin body.
Yep, here we go.
Quick question, Sean. I'm sorry, Alex.
Go ahead.
Sean.
Go ahead.
Eric?
Is that one of the guards still actually like attached and pinned between me, B.O.S.E, and Clack's sword right now? Because I think I remember that last.
A goblin.
Dead already.
I had him pinned up against him, like the sword into B.O.S.'s chest.
Oh, yes. So yeah, we can go with that.
Oh, fantastic. Well, then B.O.S.E is just gonna push that person into the sword. Just real quick.
Oh, the person was already dead. When he pinned him, he's dead.
Yeah,
there you go. Slides him further along your sword. There. Let's make sure that we are a bloody group. This is a bloody, bloody, bloody group. Oh, and hey, for those in chat, don't forget that you have the ability to give inspiration. Right now, you have Plotter's Inspiration up there, which got up to 4 because of things that happened during the week. Our game goes all week long, even though we only stream one night. And so our fans who are chatting in the Discord earn some more Plotter's Inspiration. So it's all there for you to give out. So yeah, here this individual slid bloodily up on the sword. Sorry, I was just getting a message of a reminder of a pickup at 1 o'clock for somebody else. So that's my wife doing that one. All right, go ahead.
So Remy's going to let out a little yelp and then toss and sort of push up the Finch's head back onto the table out of his lap. And he's going to starts looking around, panicked, like he's
Yes, he's
head
very dead.
is on the tape.
Deceased.
We killed people.
Huxley looks over a little nervously and goes, I only meant to take out his eye.
Yes, and I was trying to help staunch the bleeding, but somebody here decided to chop his whole head off. Now, what lesson have we learned? And I'm still patting down the goblin's pockets for coin or gems that I saw earlier.
We need to hide the we need to get out of here. We need to hide the bodies. We need to. We're all dead. If this gets traced back, if the wall doesn't kill us, then the people behind. Oh, gods above, we're all dead.
Excuse me, Remy. Can I have that head real quick?
You want this?
Yes, yes.
The 7 of the goblin. Yes. We just. Oh yes, B.O.S., take that right now, please. I would want you nothing more than you to just have that severed head in your hands. That's the most important thing to me right now.
Do you need help cleaning up the blood on your body?
Yes, Huxley, I would very much so appreciate that.
Huxley's gonna walk over and pull out a handkerchief, and he's gonna try and start cleaning it up, but really he's just smudging it more into his outfit.
Okay, stop. Let's just, Huxley, just
I thought
thank
you wanted help.
for your wonderful amounts of help.
You're welcome. It's not
Now,
clean yet.
Yes, but I'll do the rest. You've done so much. You've made it, like when you open a jar, right? You loosened it for me, metaphorically, in this circumstance. Just go help Nerida do whatever Nerida's doing right now.
She's pilfering the dead.
Oh. Did you find anything cool?
Did I?
Well, I was waiting for everybody else to finish first so I could get into that. So, Nerida, actually, you did. While they're all chatting, because I wanted to get a feel for what everybody else was doing. I mean, we got a goblin still standing on the table. What do you... I kind of need to know what Clack is doing. With swords stuck into the thing while he has a conversation.
I guess I'm covered in blood again.
Oh, yeah, you never
It's only
stopped.
been about 20 minutes, yeah. So I go and I step off the table and I hook the body down on the floor. And then I'll just take that dirty cow-covered blood rag and start wiping myself again. I guess it was blood then.
So he slides down off the table that he smashed because he broke a leg off of this to put it at an angle. He slides down on the other side over near Remy and whatnot. Now, Nerida, of course, has crossed over to near the door, and she's down on the ground searching the headless body of this poor
Buckets,
goblin.
Coins, jewelry, gems, anything.
Yep. You do find a pouch, which is it is not the pouch that you saw previously when you opened the door with all the gems and gold. This pouch does have money.
That was taken by the other guy who I saw scooping up coins.
But what you do find here is a couple items. You're used to assessing things based on value very quickly. Mm-hmm. So, like, you find a small, what looks like an old leather notebook, And it seems like all the pages have been ripped out except for a few, and it just seems too odd to be in the hands of a goblin, so you snag that really quick. You also find a couple other things. There's a monocle, which totally doesn't fit with a goblin, on a small chain. It just seems like a steel chain, but seems like an odd thing for a goblin to have that you grab. You also grab... yeah... What he was wearing is probably stands out as really the most odd thing of all. He's wearing a coat that has all these like porcupine spikes all over it. And it reaches almost to the, well, did reach almost to the floor when he was wearing it and whatnot. This seems peculiarly odd because you prick yourself quite a few times, taking minor damage even while you're searching him. The other thing, nope, that's not there. So yeah, yep. So that's it. You got the leather-bound note pages. You got the monocle and this weird coat and a pouch with coins and gems, and we'll detail that later on. Just remind me in the DM's thing to detail the contents of that.
Okay.
Hey, Sean.
Yeah.
Is there any possible way that B.O.S.E can pluck the other eye out of the skull here?
If you want to go over to it, yeah.
Oh,
who has
fantastic.
the skull right
It's
now?
Me.
Oh, you got it? Okay.
Yeah.
You can use your tendrils to kind of like be almost like fine fingers and just pop that out of there so that you have a set of matching
I don't think the
eyeballs.
stone clubs for hands are really good for eye surgery.
They're not very effective for plucking.
No, you guys who are not familiar with bows at all now see, similar to his thorn whip, him actually, that he's very dexterous with these and he can control them in quite a few ways, and his fingers actually come out from around the stones, go into the eyeball, wrap around it, and literally pull it out. So you're watching what appears to be a living plant that can control all these vines.
My next question... Sorry.
Fascinating.
My next question here, Sean. Is there any way that I can maybe absorb these eyeballs into my body?
To reuse them later on, you mean?
Not to use them, but kind of just like use them as like a if I were to put them on the back of my head kind of thing. It's kind of like a self-defense
Until they rot,
mechanism.
you could
fine.
you can't integrate them, you can't see
That's
out of
fine.
them, but absolutely you can like
B.O.S.E always has a
manipulate them around.
purpose.
There you go. B.O.S.E wants to try. He hasn't had the opportunity yet. It's like, so yes, you take them in and slowly they go up your arm and into your bead. Yeah, we can do that.
B.O.S.E, I think the humans are going to be a little upset about this. We might need to get out of here.
And it
Don't
kind
worry,
of makes
I'm
sense,
thinking
though.
about it.
You got to remember, you've thrown somebody physically up against a wall. You smashed a leg off things. It's not like you guys were quiet.
Is the
during
door
this.
locked?
Looking over at the door, you can see that it's not locked. Nobody locked it on
It
the
is
way.
now.
Yep.
Narrator, please lock the door. Please,
It is
right now.
Don't worry, I have an idea. Okay.
As the blood
so,
slowly seeps out from underneath the door, because you're right there at the dead
shape
body.
water. Shape water. Pull the blood in. Pull that back right in.
Yeah.
So, I'm thinking. I think you know Finch best, yeah? Mr. Finch. What was he known for?
What is exactly chubs? Well, mostly, cutting off people's hands or occasionally breaking their kneecaps.
Okay, we can work with these. So,
but
he lost
mainly
a
he
bet
was
with us.
like
This is our story,
fence
Remy.
type thing.
We didn't murder him, okay? He lost a bet. He tried to pull out his little guards on us, and we, in self-defense, his head popped off because B.O.S.E was just trying to choke him, maybe, and the vines just kind of too much.
It looks like a clean
Have you
cut.
been to the wall before?
I've been here a little while.
You
No, not
think
very long.
that the guards at the wall are going to take self-defense when there's a murder inside one of their own taverns? We'll get strung up, hung, and thrown from the highest mountaintop for all to see.
And maybe we either figure out... I think they are more concerned with the other murders that are going on. This one doesn't necessarily fit the prerogative of that murder, it doesn't seem like. There's no, crushed stone. I look at my ring to make sure it hasn't magically crushed itself.
I don't think they prioritize murders based off mystery, Nerida. I think they'll take the one with the room full of people who just killed people just fine.
Well, they're dead. They can't say that they did not attack us. They attacked us first. Self-defense.
Huxley, throw me a frickin' bone here. He looks over at Huxley.
I think what we did was very bad, and if the authorities got involved, they would think what we did was very bad.
Yes, and so we shouldn't tell the authorities that we did it.
I cannot lie.
Clack, you don't want to spend the rest of your life either in jail or dead on the wall, yes? You want to... You need to find a way to sneak out of here and get rid of these bodies.
What do you have there? Did you take this? And I'll look at the coat.
I haven't taken it. I don't know if Finch took it. Here, I'll hand it to Clack. I do have the monocle in the notebook, however. And I will start quickly peeking through the notebook, through what pages, if there are any, are left.
Interestingly enough, Clack, are you messing around with this stabby coat?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn it inside out, and then see it. Does it hurt me when I try to flip it inside out?
Yeah, it actually does. It's not easy to turn it inside out, but as you do, you find that it moves in unnatural ways. In other words, you know instantly that this is magical, and it's actually of goblin origin.
I take this as a good sign. I think we're on the right path.
Now, you know you're super over-muscular, and this thing should probably not fit you, so...
Yeah.
Like, what about this is the right path? Listen, the only path I'm interested in getting on right now is the one that gets us out of here. So...
Then we leave.
Thoughts? Idea? We can't just walk out the door. If we walk out, if we're seen leaving, yes? Seen leaving, and then they go into the room after us, yes?
But we were already seen going in, so if we do not come back out, it will be even more suspicious that we found a way to snuck out. I don't see any windows.
I would prefer some form of ambiguity around our guilt.
We did not intend to murder. We just intended to hold up an offer that was given to us in the company of many others.
Yes, of course, Huxley, and so therefore intent is very important, so we probably shouldn't be killed or imprisoned for the rest of our lives over this. I personally really would not like to go to prison.
Are you stressed?
Just a smidgen. What if we... Wait. What if we, It's this building, it's raised, yes? What could... Maybe, Clack, you could use your sword to pry up one of the floorboards. We drop through and,
Throw the
Someone
bodies
else throw
underneath?
an idea out, please! I don't do this sort of thing.
Do you want to hide the bodies under the floorboards? Because I have read a story about doing that once, and
No, I want to drop through the floorboards and run away.
Oh, okay. Actually, I think that they're gonna be a real bummer about this. I don't think we're gonna...
What do you mean a bummer? I'm also sad that people died.
I'm sad too, but people die.
That's also true, yes. Many people die from overdose and other problems.
Yeah.
To be clear, and I turn to Clack, why exactly did you chop his head off? Why did you suddenly resort to killing him?
Do we really need to talk about this right now?
Yes, because technically only one of us is guilty.
He did attack our person, so I attacked their person.
We don't know he was going
you're at
to
the
it.
wall. We're all guilty. We're all going to die. I don't think this reality of the situation's really coming across to you quite yet. We need to get out of here, and we need to not be seen, and we need to get away from the wall as soon as possible. We need to cross a border, north or south, pick one.
In hindsight, the man did give us his word, and he seems like a man who was good on his word.
Yes,
I
Huxley,
think he
you're
would have.
absolved of all sins.
I think he
Please,
would
let's get out
have.
of here.
I think he would have stopped his guards from attacking me like
But
they
they
were
did
about
attack
to.
you.
Well, they were going to, but we didn't really give the goblin a chance to say not to.
Huxley, if it's any consolation, I know Finch. He was going to sever both your arms and throw you in a ditch.
Oh, well, in that case, maybe it's best that he's dead.
That's what I said.
Perhaps
still
a
can't believe he's
distraction. A distraction, perhaps.
I can
All right,
run out
I'll
and
go to
tap
try to
dance.
pry the. I'll try to pry
I'm
the
very
floorboards up.
alluring and distracting.
This entity could actually turn into something that can be a little bit more distracting.
Oh,
Some would say a cow.
Again?
how?
The attention would certainly be on this entity, not on you.
Yeah, there've been a lot of cows in this bar lately.
I have an idea.
Heck, you could stomp all over these bodies and make them, like, unrecognizable, and then people could just think that a cow killed them.
I have an idea. There have already been murders.
Right. Do you
We
have a
could-
time machine?
No,
Oh.
I don't know what that is. But it sounds very interesting. Save that for later. I'll ask you about that later. But what if we frame this as being one of those murders that already happened?
Have a sending stone that's broken?
No, but we can make a symbol that's similar using blood on the wall. And if you can turn into a cow, or is that the only thing you can turn into?
Most certainly not. It can be quite a few things.
Can you turn into something really tiny that wouldn't be seen coming out?
Perhaps, actually, yes.
Maybe like a spider or an ant or a fly.
Correct. Spiders.
Okay. I think I've met somebody who could do similar tricks once. Anyway, maybe you sneak out under the door, and you go past and come out, and then you go around back where there should be a window, and you make a window coming in, and we say, something came in and attacked and killed him, and make ourselves injured looking, and say they attacked too, but we escape. But the murderers actually got away.
That could work.
And meanwhile, we are fleeing for our lives, so we might as well just leave anyway. We do not have to stay around to be questioned.
That is true.
I don't do well under questioning.
Then you should definitely not be questioned.
And I'm still trying to just pry boards up.
Yeah.
Still shaping water to keep the blood in the room.
Shaping the water works fairly well. You know, water, blood is mostly water and whatnot, and so only.
I know it won't be perfect, but it'll be. At least it won't be catching attention because a big pool of blood won't be coming out.
There you go. So she's pulling most of that in. In the meantime, Class over there, smash, bashing away with this huge greatsword at the floor. Smashing away at you while you guys just talk and spend time in the back room after all this crashing was already done. And now Clack is going full, prying up the boards as best he can, which are nailed down by the square nails.
Lots of noise.
And that's when the banging at the door starts. Hey, what's going on in there? And you recognize the voice as SARS. And he tries to open the door. He goes, open the door. And you can... Narrator, you're close enough with your perception. You can hear the jingling of keys. Clearly, he's about to use a key in the lock to flip up the handle.
Help! And I just start banging on the door.
And as you start yelling help, magic happens in the stream. Because all our individuals asked for something new in the stream. They wanted to look behind the curtain, and this is what they find. A beautiful new stream because we put in a little extra time this week to kind of bless all our viewers in a new and different way. So welcome to the new overlays. Thank you, chat, for participating.
Ooh.
Fancy.
And the banging is at the door, and we get help. Does everybody else go silent?
B.O.S.E goes with the plan that narrative brought up and turns into a spider.
I'm gonna pull out one of my daggers, and I'm just going to, while I'm still screaming help, I'm gonna I'm gonna hold it to Hux, and I'm gonna say, here, stab me in the back. Just do it.
No, thank you.
Just do it. Okay, here, Remy, stab me in the back.
I'm not very good with the whole violence
Just do
thing,
it!
and also what?
B.O.S.E is literally, you see this shambling mound start shedding rocks everywhere on the floor. Only a few of them left inside as he literally starts transforming into this spider-like shape, I guess.
Goblin, stab me in the back.
In the meantime, Neruda's running around asking people to stab her.
Quietly,
when the door
under my
opens
breath,
up.
while I'm still screaming for help.
Yeah.
Goblin friend, clap.
In her psychotic, poisoned state from all this alcohol, she thinks she's being quiet while yelling for help and asking people to things. And the door opens up and swings in only part way because there's multiple dead bodies in front of it. From people that have been stabbed and beheaded.
Goodness, we're being attacked. Help us, please.
And Sarah is trying to get inside and look, and there's this giant rock vine spider thing on part of the doorway, and Neruda running over to the other side. And go ahead. What do you want to do?
I use shape water to cover myself in the blood that I've been shape watering.
Is B.O.S. a spider?
Correct, or like a
not
stone.
But
Vine
a little one or
and
a big
stone.
one?
I don't know. What do you have the ability? What size spider can you turn into, and what size are you trying to, B.O.S.?
Well, initially I thought the plan was a tiny spider.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, so then shedding all the stones is right. You just eject. Well, I guess we'll say they transform with you. You're a new creature, so we're playing with this a little bit. So, so yeah. Rather than leaving all these, I thought that leaving the stones everywhere would be cool, but because they're really an addition to you. That's the real problem. I don't know. I'll leave it up to the player. I love to let players decide. So you wrestle with this.
How about more so like instead of the rocks just falling off, they kind of just break down, and then there's just pebbles on the spider.
You're still going to have stones in you either way. You
Right.
need them. But what about the vast majority of these big ones that increase your sentinels or your integrated stone?
That would suck if I had to drop literally all of my armor.
Is that considered part of your normal body? Because if so, wild shape usually transforms your body and any armor you're wearing.
It's not. It's not. So.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oof.
Well, he's
That's
already changed.
Well, then,
I'll let Eric wrestle with that for a minute. Well, actually, we need to know an answer.
look. Okay. So here. Okay. So for when it's, creatures that are smaller than, the size, like say a spider, then yeah, I guess it's fair for me to just drop the stones. But if it's like a different creature that's like larger, like a direwolf, I still keep those stones per se.
I'm fine with however you want to do this, buddy. You could be a massive spider, with big stones or whatever the heck you want.
Well, right now I'm a tiny spider, so I guess say goodbye to my stones. There's probably rocks everywhere, so I'll just find more.
Which means that the door, he can't get the door open more than like 6 inches anyway. He can't even get his face all the way in between the bodies and these boulders that B.O.S. has left as he dejects all these stones. And you guys see the little spider run over a rock as Neruda's still over there, screaming, "Help me, stab me, help me, stab me." Yeah.
The stab part was I was whispering that to them.
So, and nobody's taking her up on the stab part. What are you guys doing about the door and the spider runs off?
The door's open. Has Clack pried up any of the floorboards? Is there a hole?
He's gotten
in the
up.
room? Is that a hole?
With his strength, yeah, he's actually gotten up to. What are you doing with the coat in the meantime? I thought you had the coat in your hands, Clack.
Yeah, just like as soon as the door opens and everything kind of stills, I'll just like absent-mindedly try to put it on, I guess. Like I'm
surprisingly, the coat actually stretches over your arms and everything else, fitting you, as if it was made for a goblin, which might be the reason that he had it in the first place. So yeah, you're wearing the coat, and you have no problems wearing the coat whatsoever. It doesn't stab you while you're wearing it because all the porcupines are on the outside. Unless you're trying to put it on backwards. Did you want to put it on backwards? Inside out?
I thought it was protecting the inside, so I put it out inside out like I turned it inside out and it was weird. Like kind of like
you did.
You said it was like a tentacle or something, like it had a weird amorphous shape.
If you turn because trying to move porcupine spines, which are each inches long, would be normally kind of impossible to turn it inside out, but it actually allowed you to turn it inside out, indicating that it was magical in nature. My question is did you want to put it on inside out where all the porcupine spines are pointing in towards you? Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah, that's what I was trying to do.
Oh, okay. So, let me roll for damage.
Yeah.
As you proceed to put it on wrong intentionally. Where are those dice? Oh.
That's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage.
Somebody clip that. Somebody clip that.
That's a goblin amount of damage.
That was
Oh my
that was a
God.
lot of dice.
Well, I think we can
I'll be
successfully
cleaning
say
that
you
up later.
died from
I
that.
think so.
Can we-
That's death.
Can we
you
just
take-
a plot point for that one?
Literal-
That one got me good.
Everybody may have one plot point.
Oh yeah.
You take 8 points of damage, Clack, as you proceed to literally rip this up your arms on your back and are now being consistently stabbed and will continue to take damage every round that you wear it inside out. So you are now bleeding profusely, wearing this thing inside out, but it's nice and smooth on the outside. Everybody can see how he has managed to force this on himself, inside out.
We might not be in as good a shape as I thought.
Yeah.
You take it off.
We're just going to say that it's 8 points of damage while you were pulling up all this wood and stuff, you know.
All right, so is there a hole in the floor?
He's gotten up a couple boards, yeah. Skinny people might be able to get through. Depending on how the style of your horns, you might be able to get through. You're pretty skinny after all of your starvation and whatnot. Goblin-sized creature, I know he's super big and bulky. The spider's got no problem getting through. Huxley, you're not wearing any heavy armor. You know, it would be a squeeze for most of you. Not for the spider, obviously. Although you're leaving your integrated stone behind. And you can see underneath the floorboards, as we had described previously, this building's set up about a couple feet up off the earth, which is an airspace. It's a crawl space underneath the building, which indicates that there's probably rain and other things that happen here that stop the building flooding.
Can B.O.S.E see like who is on the other side of the door exactly?
Sure. As you crawl up on the other side of the spider, you can see out the 6 inches, and you see Zar, the man with the eye patch over one eye, who appeared to be the barkeep.
Okay. You can go, Alex, if you were gonna go.
Is he still pushing at the door?
Oh.
Yeah, he's trying to get the door. Nobody's answered him. He's like, open up.
Is B.O.S.E wedged between the door?
He's hearing
is-
yells for help. B.O.S.E is not, because B.O.S.E is now a tiny little spider, but some of the bodies are in front of the door, as well as some of the stones that have come out from B.O.S.E as he became this tiny little spider.
All right. Hey. Wait, do this.
I'm sorry,
yes, please
Alex.
say something. Please say something,
help.
Eric.
I'm hoping this might do something. Okay, so see, I'm a spider. A lot of people are afraid of spiders, right? So I can I try and freak out Zar right now at with being a spider, maybe crawl on his like leg or something?
You can absolutely try to do that. I love that idea.
I want to just buy these guys some time.
I love this idea. So, jumping over the rock, you immediately leap through the door right onto Zar. This little furry, green, spidery looking thing, like no other spider in the world, with, Zar can't even tell if it's an egg sac on it or it's stones and pebbles or what it is, as you go scurrying up him. Go ahead and make an intimidation check, and I'll set the number in my mind, because you are a spider. And he is hearing yells for help, which may or may
First
not
roll
help.
of the session.
Wow.
Not 20, baby.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
This is gonna be good.
So intimidate.
B.O.S.E. Very, very nice. Like it. So B.O.S.E comes in with a natural intimidate, and as he runs up towards his face, it just happened to be on the side with the eye patch at first, and he's like, oh my god, and B.O.S.E is right up there, and he's freaking out and moving back from the doorway, You guys just hear him freaking out a little bit from inside. You don't really know what happened because none of your perception were high enough to see this little spider go running out the door. Cat, let go of my headphones.
Okay, so he's yelling.
Yeah, he appears to be in minor distress, though none of you know why.
Okay, well, that's gonna up the ante on Rembrandt here. So, the hole is here, yeah?
The hole is
on the
here.
ping.
Whoop, I am, there you go. Going back, yeah, we'll put it somewhere right around there, yeah.
All right. Well, God. All right. Is there anything on the table? What's in the room?
Oh, there's the leftover wine and cups. Yeah.
All right. Remy's
and a lot of blood.
Yeah.
There's a smashed off leg. Don't forget, Clack smashed off the leg of the one table.
Yeah. Remy's going to cast Catapult to slam that door back shut because he doesn't know what's going on and he hears yelling. So I'm going to have one of those cups slam against the door at high speed, which will hopefully shut it.
Okay. I am so down with that. Not a problem. The problem is that your intelligence tells you the cup does not weigh 1 to 5 pounds, which is what a catapult needs.
Thank you for warning me about that.
Well,
do I see the table leg?
You do. You do. You can absolutely throw that. That weighs over 1 pound.
All right.
But it's not a straight line either, so you'd have to go over, use your free act, or pick it up, and then, like, set it, launch it from your hands, whatever. Because it's a straight line that catapult does from where it's at, and the table would be in the way.
All right, let's double check my movement real quick. It's not that big of a room.
You think you can do it?
Difficult.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Okay.
Not,
I do. Yeah. I do that.
Just helping you to
hopefully
stay in
still standing. Yeah. So, Remy goes over and says, "Oh God," and catapults the leg into the door, slamming it shut. And then, if he still can, he'll sort of look at Clack and say, "Well, I guess it's time we get going." And he'll try and go through the hole.
You're gonna dive. You're diving head first through the hole, or you're gonna try and go legs first?
Let's go leg first.
Okay. So you watch Remy go over there and start smushing himself trying to get through this hole. Clack, you guys see the door smash shut. What about the rest of you? What are you doing?
Is the coat still hurting?
Till you take it off, yes.
All right, so I take it off and I go and I grab it and my sword and I try to go through the hole as well.
You take your bloody coat now. It's still inside out, so it's nice and smooth and very soft to touch on the outside. And yeah, you can get through the. You can get through there. No check for you. Can you describe your horns for me, Alex? Are they big horns, small horns coming out from your head, massive? Talk to me about it.
So I'd say they pretty much reflect the token going back like sort of going back like that. If you look at my character portrait. That's originally I was gonna have a lot bigger horns for the character, but I like the very subtle way that I saw these going.
Until he realized it was a small
still very
hole.
apparent, right? Yeah.
So great. So no problem getting through there. And so Clack's through right after you. You're underneath. You get out of the way. Clack gets right through. Narada, you see them diving out. Nobody's willing to help stab you. Huxley's over there, and B.O.S.E is gone. Huxley, what do you want to do?
If Narada isn't going, then Huxley isn't going because he wants to make sure that everybody's safe. He wants to be the last one out.
Okay. Narada, what are you doing?
I guess I'm just going to slightly put my dagger away and I'm going to keep shouting help as I go down the hole.
Help! 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 Help!
Exactly.
And I love this slightly put the dagger away. I'm not sure what that is, but okay. So we slightly put a dagger away?
It's in my boot.
It sounds more like I'm afraid what's going to happen. So it's like... So,
not slyly, like SLYLY, but slightly works too.
Oh!
I just put it in my boot.
Slyly. Very good. Take a plot point for that. Totally misheard that.
Okay.
It was funnier in my hearing. How do you slightly do something? Either do it or go. But slyly makes a lot of sense. Great. So out.
I'll make it sound
Huxley.
like I'm being muffled really badly. And then I'll shut up.
So Nara sticks her head back up through the hole just to make sure that you know. Dives out of sight.
But like as I'm going down the hole, so it sounds like I'm being dragged away.
There you go. Huxley, you're left standing in the room. Czar, who is working with a spider attacking him, takes his attack actions as a seasoned veteran against this spider to squash it. What is your AC as a tiny little spider?
Oh, geez. That's got to be... I have it right here.
I don't think with a 25 that you're going to not escape being splattered.
12.
Would the doors?
Yeah.
Would the door slamming happen to have hit Czar as well?
No, because he'd already stumbled back, I said, with him. And the door
okay.
had... Yeah.
Do I have to be right there to use my points to buff his AC?
You can't buff AC with points. Yeah, plot points
Can I
adjust
lower
rolls.
his attack?
No, you cannot. They can use to help you. You cannot disadvantage the enemies. These are all questions that have been asked before, and I think are actually in the rules list. But yeah, because players have tried this before.
How many points for a chandelier that wasn't there originally to fall from the ceiling and hit him on the head?
Now that is a valid plot point adjustment. Yeah, it's like we want to adjust the plot.
600.
You could have other people come in, other things. All sorts of things. But anyways, in the meantime, while you guys are figuring all that out, he comes up and he's like, oh, God! Thinking he's getting attacked by a poisonous spider. Smash right into you, which is just a standard strength hit. You know, no problem whatsoever. For 5 points of damage. I don't know what you have as a tiny spider. I'm not thinking it's 5.
It's literally 1.
Yep. And so, literally, he does this, and as he does this, the 4 points carry over onto you, B.O.S, as you transfer back to your normal size on top of him, splatting him to the ground with a full-size B.O.S now on top of this poor flattened Czar on the ground. He's like, oh my God! This thing that he's seen before is on top of him just with a lot less rocks. Now, interestingly enough, because your integrated stone is still inside the room, if you get back into the room, you can pick those up.
Pick it up.
As you go, and they're still considered integrated. But right now, your AC is without those. And the door is closed behind you, by the way.
Okay. So I'm just on top of him right now?
Yeah, you have him pinned to the ground.
All right, so then B.O.S is going to talk to this dude. Don't go in there. There's something. They're taking them. Don't go in there.
Oh my! What? And he's like trying to fight through these vines, like, you know, somewhere there is B.O.S.'s head, and he's like, "What's going on? Are you trying to stop him standing up, or are you going to let him stand up?"
I kind of want to do the whole thing where I'm just like, I'm looking like I'm just a klutz, but kind of just like stopping him at the same time, with my vines just kind of going everywhere and just like, nope.
You don't even have to make a performance check because he's got no idea how to handle this vine creature, and, you know, real easy for you to handle that one. That's a real, I mean, he would have to roll like a 20 or something. Yeah, no. He's like, no problem. He's like totally believing you as he's trying to get out from the vines, and you just happen to be moving the vines back over him. So you pretty much got him in an almost not really restrained because he could attack you, but he's not trying to kill you now. He's just trying to figure out what's going on. Huxley inside the room alone. The others have skittered out, and you are alone.
Huxley will now be going down the hole.
Okay. Huxley, I have not checked your size, so I will leave it up to you as a player. I would imagine, not being starved and being a full-sized guy with decent stats and whatnot, that you're probably going to have a tough time getting through this. Would you concur?
Yes, I would concur.
Okay. So, in that case, let's have you make an acrobatics check to try and get through without wedging yourself. Otherwise, you might become wedged.
Sure. I will add 3 points to that.
And as you do, you get hung up about halfway through it, and then you're like, wiggling yourself, and it's just enough to hit the DC, and you force yourself down through just getting some scratches on your chest as bloop, you're now underneath in this little 2-foot crawl space, and you can turn your head and kind of look over, and It's dark under here, but you can see out the sides of the building because, again, the whole building is raised up about 2 feet. And you
Huxley
can all
has
see out the
a
sides of the
blind
building to
sight.
see water on the ground outside the building because outside it's still light. Remember, this was a midday thing. This wasn't like middle of the night. So you guys can see the sides of the building, and it's wet out there and raining. It must have started raining sometime while you were inside the inn. And what are you, Rembrandt, and Nerida, and Clack doing? Because you were already under there.
Yeah, so is it like we army crawl out? Is that the sort of dealio?
Even tighter than that, but yeah, that's the idea.
Okay,
Keep as low to the ground as you can, arms out to the side. It's basically just your body size. Just enough. They don't really want to make these big because they don't want people crawling under them.
Well, since we left here, right, I guess the fastest way out is north. So, Rembrandt will start crawling that way and just say, hurry, try to be quiet.
Yeah,
And he'll
following.
start crawling forward.
Huxley, you following too? Clack?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay, that was really what I needed
wish
to know.
God, I wish I had an arcane focus to send to message B.O.S E, but I don't, and I don't have the component.
B.O.S E, you're inside wrestling away with him and whatnot. What do you want to do?
Okay. Jeez. I know I can't hold this dude forever. So he seems like he's pretty fixated on what's going on there. So B.O.S E is gonna like let him get out. But he's planning a nice smooth getaway like real quick. So I don't know what he does. If he goes to the door, just sticks with me. But that's what's going on in B.O.S.'s brain. Like, I need to get out of this building.
Okay, so
Unseen.
Unseen. Well, that's a trick. You're in the middle of an inn. Yeah.
Kind of.
You know, unless you're just smashing out another wall somewhere, but you don't have a cow handy. So, B.O.S E, the vines struggle. You roll over. He finally gets out. He's like, pulling various vines off of him as you continue this performance check. And slowly you pull yourself up in this shambling form with a few of the stones that had resized with you, part of your integral thing, that aren't part of your integrated stones. Part of your structure that aren't part of your integrated stones that we were referring to. And you come back into a very slim looking figure, mostly vine with a few stones, one of which is your head with the 2 gems set into it for eyes. And your extra eyeballs now have an easier time popping out the back of your head. You figure, I might as well adjust those while I'm here. One of them has been slightly damaged by when he was reaching through all the vines and he kind of squished one of the eyeballs a little bit, but that's okay. You're not worried about that. Zara gets to his feet and he's like, what happened? And you see him go over and the door is actually, when it slammed closed, relocked. So he grabs his keys and starts fiddling with the keys to open it up. What are you doing?
Fantastic. So he's turned away from me, correct? His back is to me.
Yep.
Fantastic. Yeah. I'm going to use my last wild shape for the day to somewhat disappear into a
Cow.
A cow. Oh man, that's awkward. No, I think I'm gonna a mouse. Yeah, let's go with a mouse. That's tiny enough to not notice scurry away, right?
No,
And
mouse.
all your vines magically, and all of a sudden, now there's this little claw-footed stone mouse like thing, and he has no idea. And you see him on the, get the door open with his keys and start pushing against what are stones and bodies that you know of. And by now, some of the extra blood has continued to sweep out because it's not being water-shaped anymore. And he gets in there. He finally gets it
Fantastic.
open just enough. Where are you scurrying off to?
Nearest exit I can see. So if I'm there, I'm just going straight for that door. I kind of want to go like in between maybe some like chairs and stuff like that to kind of hide me instead of just like going straight and maybe becoming more visible.
Okay, when you say that, are you talking about the door to the kitchen over here on the map, or?
Well, actually, that's not a bad.
Because you said the nearest
That's
exit.
a big
I mean, the
hole in
nearest
the
exit
wall.
would be where he is, because Clack smashed up some boards in there.
That's
Or
right.
you would go back here towards the kitchen.
I'm gonna go towards the kitchen route because if I am looking correctly here, there's 2 doors that enter into the kitchen, right? There's one on one side of the bar, and then the one on the other side that eventually goes to the actual
Correct.
indoor. Okay.
And there's actually an exterior door to the building on the back wall here that we described earlier. This was just a standard map we were using. But remember when you dumped the cow, remember he said he'd meet you out back? There's a door right back here that leads to the outside.
Fantastic. Then that is exactly where I'm shooting for right now.
Yeah. Okay, so you scurry off to the kitchen. Bows. Now, I don't think you have quite that much movement as a mouse, but, we're fine. We're just role-playing right now. So, it's not a combat maneuver. As Zara gets into the room, you guys underneath the tavern scurry off to the north and end up meeting the wall of the Harrowing Way. Remember, I said this inn is actually set in to the mountain itself, actually built into it, not quite flush, but so literally the back butts right up to it and whatnot. So you get back there a little bit, hit the mountain, and now you're forced to go off to one of the sides. Really, it's up to you. Nerida knows that to the west, the left, is an alleyway because that's where she met the kids earlier when she circled the other building. So Nerida knows that. Of course, that direction, if you were on the main street, is also where the cows were kept and whatnot. None of you have traveled to the... Well, actually, Remy, you were already here before, so you know to the east is actually the butchering spot where they keep a lot of their meat that they're hanging and whatnot before they use it. So you can either go towards where they hang their meat, or you can go towards the alleyway.
Okay. Rembrandt sort of, after we eventually... All of us have crawled out by now, yeah?
Remy, Nerida, Clack has, and Huxley's following behind, yes.
Okay. Remy will sort of look around and say, all right, we need to get this blood off of us, or we need to find some way to hide it.
Well, it's raining, so that should be no problem. And I already told you I know how to get out of here.
All right. Well, we then maybe find B.O.S.E and then lead the way, or you lead the way, and maybe we'll have someone look for B.O.S.E and you tell us... We shouldn't leave him behind, should we?
No. I need
to go
B.O.S.
He's a friend.
But is it really safe for all of us to be grouped up here in the open? I mean, I don't want to leave him, but I think we need to get away from here, yes?
I could go back.
I don't think you're the most subtle, Huxley, no offense.
Oh, I didn't know we had to be subtle.
I don't think any of us exactly scream subtle. I just gesture vaguely at all of us.
Very fair point. I suppose Huxley brings in the least amount of attention. If you would want to maybe Huxley, you can stay near the end and wait to see B.O.S.E come out. If he's in guards, then I think he's probably dead, but if he's not, in cuffs or whatever they put B.O.S.E in, then maybe you can get him to meet up with us somewhere else.
It will be okay, Remy. I will stay.
Okay.
Okay.
Should we split up, meet back outside?
Oh yeah, where's our meaty? We need a new one of those, a meaty place thing.
Clack, the way out? Is there like a midpoint we can go?
If we go out to the south of the tavern, it should be good.
South?
Yeah.
Remy swallows slightly. Says, okay, to the south it is. The south it is.
So you get out into and you're heading south.
Well, that's where the cattle are, right?
Right.
To get back under the mountain.
Yep, southwest. Again, the
hearing
Harrowing Way
south.
actually goes kind of more or less east to west, so yeah. But that's fine, yeah.
Well, I realized Clack's
you're going towards the cows.
Directly south, but he's thinking we're going
towards the cows. South. Yep. Mm-hmm. As long as I know that, again, the general intent. Yeah, you guys are heading towards the cows. You guys get out. Huxley, all of you, all four of you, except for B.O.S.E, who is nowhere to be seen. So you guys are out in the alleyway, in the rain, now covered in mud and crud and other things from small animal droppings. You guys climb through some dead animals.
So we
that
look
were
more
under the
filthy
building.
than we do bloody?
Yeah, probably. Depends on if somebody's looking at you. It's like Clack. Now that he's covered with his. No, Clack actually looks bloodier because he has his coat that
cow blood.
he pierced himself with.
Blood.
Yeah, so head to toe. I mean, he's got his own blood all over him because he's turned the coat back out the right way now. Basically, he's just a bloody mess and muddy. In fact, I probably should have thrown some disadvantage on crawling through with a porcupine coat under there. But, hey, it all works. It's good. And
Okay, we should
Hux,
split
or
up
excuse
and
me,
then meet up.
B.O.S. They're all on the other side. You're here on this side. And you hear an ominous...
Oh, crap.
Okay.
You look over towards the sound and you see a cat that was staying out of the rain over near the meat, planning to eat some meat, and it spots you, fresh prey.
Okay, well, instant reaction. I gotta run. I'm not sticking around here. I didn't come all this way to get eaten by a cat. Jeez. Is there... It doesn't like the water. So, with that knowledge, I'm just gonna go right into the rain and just run inside, into the direction of the rain.
You run right out into the middle of this area, which has a chopping block nearby and all this other stuff, and you start running. There's a building not too far away. As you do, you start running, which you're much slower than the cat. The cat jumps down and starts chasing you, and instantly you know that it's going to catch up to you probably on the next turn as you dive around some different things. You go under the butcher block, then you move over to another table. Other thoughts, dynamics. You want to go for the stay in the rain. The rain appears not to bother it as much as you had thought, probably on its own. Obviously, dinner looks better. It's worth getting wet.
Tom and Jerrying this and pulling out a giant mullet mallet and just hitting the cat.
Got it. I can make that happen.
You could have a plot point. Alex, I also gave you a plot point earlier. I put it in the chat.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Appreciate it.
Okay, so is there anything in my immediate vicinity that would be a nice maybe a small crevice, something to just hop into?
Can you imagine something? You tell me. What do you vision when you see this?
When
Role
I see
playing
this,
is always dynamic.
Jeez.
Go full DM description on him. Come on, monologue. Go.
Okay. Unfortunately, the thing that I see is just outside in the rain. Not much going on. It's just rocks, maybe, but nothing crazy.
It's
a lot of
butcher
flat
area.
land. A butcher area. I mean, there's got to be tools somewhere laying on the ground, or a table, or jeez, I have no idea. Oh my god. At this point,
aiming for the shelves, you get underneath a set of shelves that the cat is unable to get at you at. So you scurry under these. The cat's reaching under, trying to get at you, but you find yourself in a conundrum. The cat doesn't leave. The cat wants to get to you. It can see you under there with its dark vision. What do you want to do? For the moment, you are safe.
The moment. Jeez.
Do you want to try and wait the cat out?
Well, this is a butcher shop, right? So there's got to be knives laying around somewhere. I kind of want to, if I can, go to the very back of the shelves and maybe climb up the shelves, because I know how mice kind of just can be like Spider-Man and just go up things. So I want to go up there and maybe see if there's a knife on the actual the tabletop of the shelf or something. Some
cat,
sort of tool.
Seeing what you're doing, ends up jumping on shelves, knocking things down, trying to get to you, but you're so much quicker and smaller. You're scurrying up, you dodge down, sometimes you go down and up as the cat's trying to reach over, and the cat continues to knock things off of the shelves, trying to get at you. Sometimes it's salt bags, other things that it's going around. As you get higher and higher, and you do realize some of the things, actually the cat's knocked off a couple tools, and there are knives, there's a butcher thing, there's things for hammering, there's quite a few different tools, some that the cat's knocked off, some that are on shelves. So far you've been able to dodge the cat by when you go up and it chases up on top, you go down. You've been able to use this very strategically to your advantage so far.
Okay. So where I'm at right now, what is like, oh, geez, you know what? The cat's below me, right?
Sure.
Fantastic. So I would like to jump off the shelf.
Yeah, but
and just revert back to my form, my regular form. And hopefully that'll take care of the cat.
As you jump off the shelf, the vines literally mid-leap start coming out. All of a sudden, whoa, this massive thing. And the cat yowls and takes off, not just to anywhere local, but straight out towards the street, full rain and all. It don't care, running through puddles. And as you look out at the street, you're seeing that it's not a puddle. You realize it's like a ravine of water. It's like getting every single moment heavier and heavier out there.
Oh, gee.
So you're used to this in the wild, you know. Sometimes bad things happen, and as you watch, you see that the cat got caught in some of the water and drifted off, and then you see a dog coming after it, slowly, gliding through the street. The water is that heavy.
Well, B.O.S.E is not too worried about that cat anymore. He likes animals, but not when they attack him. So, sucks for that cat. I'm sorry. But, at this point, B.O.S.E wants to look for any kind of like just little rubble, debris, rocks, anything that he can like absorb into creating his armor again, something, because he feels naked right now.
And you know that would take time, so integrating stone takes a short rest. So you would be here for quite a long time, even if you found something like that.
Oh, okay. Well, then at that point...
Yeah, it's not an instantaneous thing. It is to pick up your stones that are already integrated. So if you want to go back into the building, those ones that are already integrated, that you're in sync with.
All right. Well, then at this point, B.O.S.E is trying to find the group again. So he's naturally thinking, all right, the original plan was for me to go around the building and bust a wall or something like that. So maybe if I go back, but not like back, but to the back of the building, something.
You're already near the back of the building, which butts up against the actual mountains, because again, you're in a ravine, and this is butted right up against it. So you're right there. That's why they put the butcher shop here. They don't really have to worry about anybody sneaking in, because it's a mountain right there. So you can choose to go out towards the street where the water is. You can choose to go back in the building. You could choose to, as you originally said, maybe try and smash something. You could use some of your other abilities to, whether it's climb like rope, do something like that. You know, you have all sorts of options. I'll cut over to the other characters and find out what they're doing, and maybe we'll see if they bump into you. All right, so the rest of you grouped up in the back as it's raining away. The children are no longer here, Nerida. The alleyway is long since empty, but you can see the rain piling up out in the street. Now, was I correct? You were heading all together as a group towards the cows, or Clack, were you going without
staying behind
Okay.
to get in touch with B.O.S.E.
Okay.
And we're kind of splitting up a little bit because we said we'd convene at this southern position.
Of where the cows are.
Apparently.
Okay. Fair enough to, you know, it's kind of a, you know, it's not, knowing where the cows were, most of you would have seen on the way in because you all came in from the south. So it's easy enough to use that as a landmark because it's only like a block or so away. Clack, out in the street as you're leading the others, the water has become somewhat treacherous. It's a couple inches deep and it's flowing towards the south from the north. You realize that the mountains have gotten into a rainstorm here, and as you're watching, you're seeing small animals scurried off. You know, it almost appears like they're falling out of the sky, like it's, you know, they're not, but, you know, it's almost raining cats and dogs. That was a shout out to Alex.
We have to hurry. It's, the push is being very treacherous now. We won't have much time.
I've already snuck off.
So you've left the group?
I thought the plan was to separate, so I've separated.
Cool. So you went off in the direction of the kids, whereas he went towards the main street. Rembrandt, are you sticking with Clack? Or are you all 100%.
Separated? 100%. Clack's the one that knows how to get out of here. If the water, if it is a couple inches deep, Rembrandt might, like, while he's walking, like, try and just, like, splash some of the water onto him to get off some of Finch's blood. He doesn't care about the dirt and all that. But if there's blood on him still, he's, you know, not because he's worried he's gonna get caught, but he's just like, all right, I just have to get all of this off, and I'll forget about it the next day, and then I'll go to the south, and Oh God, I'm going to the south again. Oh God. And he just sort of is muttering to himself the whole way through, and probably is annoying to Clack, but he's on a mission.
All right,
Rembrandt
so
does not have the level of awareness to be super stealthy right now, so.
you are muttering along behind him as you go. This little porcupine covered, like, massive oversized. It's like a miniature Incredible Hulk that you're following, and now it's covered with spiky spines of blood as well as he walks through this ring.
Can't wait to catapult him one day. Just like put like a level 4 spell slot on it and be like, Sean, let me do this.
Yeah, he's a little bit heavier than 5 pounds though. Is the problem?
That's why it's a level 4 spell slot. You know.
Next thing we're gonna be like, how do we catapult bows? All 1,000 pounds of bows.
Cannonball, let's do it.
Oh my.
Yeah, we just need a trebuchet.
I'm just seeing this spiral out of control quickly. So as you get out there, he's able to lead you by the water. Luckily, the cows are on the same side of the street as the inn, which of course is, like I said, just a block away. And there you come back to the cow keepers area, which again, many of them had already scattered.
Crap,
There's 2 or 3
us.
back in here. But you don't see the cow keeper, just the 2 or 3 cows in this area. He's probably still looking for the other 8 cows, which are missing, and of course the one's dead and been sold now.
Black, please don't kill any of these.
Oh, okay. You have feelings for these cows?
No, we've killed enough things, you know. That makes 4 for today, don't you think that's enough?
Killed enough things.
Okay, I see this is a bit of an unfamiliar area for you. Where are the others?
You're looking around for the others when you realize that Neruda's already all the way at the back. She's just come the back way instead of going out to the street, and she's kind of standing there watching you from the shadows, not trying to be too overly like, I'm invisible, but there she is like, oh yeah, you guys are finally here. Huxley, did you make it over there? Or you were looking for bows, so you were going around.
Huxley is waiting around, kind of outside the bar, probably on the other side of the street, looking for bows.
So you've walked past all the drifting cats and animals and rats that are floating down the street in this kind of flood of water.
I keep picking up each one as it floats by, and I kind of hold it up to my face and go, bows? And then I put it down, pick up the next one, bows? Pick up the next, bows? Nah, not that one either.
Some of them are incredibly grateful, thinking they're about to be saved till she puts it back into the water stream and it floats away. Other ones don't like being picked up at all and try to scratch at her as she continues to talk to them. I would like B.O.S.E to make a perception roll, please.
No problem. Oh, if my mouse would... There we go. Perception. Ooh, I got this one.
I don't think I have the roll set up on here, do I? I do.
Mm.
There you go. So I did have that one set up. But you get a perception 11, and over the course of the rain, unfortunately, you can't hear Huxley out there saying your name. But you're just walking around. What was your thoughts? How would you like to? I mean, you're just in this kind of dead end little space where he's got this butcher shop.
Okay, so B.O.S.E isn't very familiar with like urban environments or just civilization too much, but he does know nature, and when he sees running water, that usually leads to people of some sort. That's just the weird natural survival instinct, I guess. Or I could roll for survival if you want me to.
You're fine. You go out to the street. I love it. So you head out to the streets, and there you see Huxley playing with animals as he submerges them back into the water. He picks them out and drops them back in.
Well, B.O.S.E is gonna approach Huxley there and. Why is it that you refuse to save these creatures?
Looking for bows.
Oh, right.
This strange vine creature looks very different than the bows you knew that had these massive stones in it. This is kind of like this slendery looking Groot-like, with a few rocks here and there creature. He's been on a diet plan.
B.O.S.E is well aware that he is not being recognized right now and kind of enjoys it. Just a little bit.
Huxley continues to pick up animals for about another minute before he looks over and he says, will you you know, no, and then he blinks a few times and looks. He tries to kind of pick you up a bit. Goes, B.O.S.E?
Yes, Huxley. It is B.O.S.E.
He lets go of you. I am very happy that you are safe. We're all meeting up WayWard. Would you? Are you ready to go or?
Of course, yeah. Let's just go. I hope you never get to see me like this again.
I think you look great.
As B.O.S.E tries to like cover up a little bit, like.
Do you
Hide the
do you
lines.
want Did Huxley kind of looks down, pulls out the bloody handkerchief that he used to help out poor Rembrandt with, and kind of puts it on your shoulder to help cover you up a bit. Is that better?
Much obliged, Huxley. Much obliged.
And then Huxley will start leading him over to the others.
The rain washes some of the blood from the handkerchief into the vines and whatnot. The eyeballs, which were freshly plucked and bloody, are getting nice and clean now thanks to the rain, as the little bits of gore from the goblin head still hang off of them. And you are led over to where you find Rembrandt and... Now, most of the individuals in the street have cleared out. It's raining, which kind of leaves it easy for individuals like yourself. It's only the hardcore bad Larrys that are here. And as you guys, because you said you took a full minute, like to keep looking at things and whatnot, you're just walking away when you hear the voice of Czar behind you from the footsteps. You were walking towards where you can see Rembrandt and Clack over there in front of the thing ahead of you, and it's Czar coming out, and he goes, "Hey!" and he shouts amidst the rain. You don't need a perception roll to hear this. Rembrandt and Clack are too far away at a block. They can't hear it because of the rain, but you two who are halfway in between can. How do you want to respond?
Yeah, keep walking.
Clearly, he's not talking to us, right?
I don't know anybody named Hay.
Okay. You guys keep walking, and moments later, Rembrandt and Clack, you see them approach. The two of them from the
thank
rain.
goodness.
Were you followed?
Yeah, we're going to run forward.
Not really, no. But we were observed, that's for sure.
Oh, good.
We best probably get moving quick.
B.O.S.E, I'm sorry we didn't find your friends, but we'll have to do with this.
Yeah, I
But,
suppose.
B.O.S.E, are you injured?
No, this entity is just naked of some sorts.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'd offer you a cloak if I had one.
Yeah.
It's
Oh,
my
you could-
kerchief.
You can have this one, and I'll hand him the cloak that I have that's looks way too small for him.
No, thank you, good friend. You can keep that. This entity will just find rocks later.
It might double as a sock for B.O.S.E, when he bulks back up. But Clack, you said you know how to get out of here. We should be doing that, yes?
Let's go.
Leaving?
I need Huxley, Rembrandt, Narrowed, and Clack, so basically everybody but B.O.S.E to make a perception roll for me, please.
Are druids bad at wisdom?
That's impossible. It's like my best one.
12, 1.
Yeah, 12.
If you're waiting for me, we can just
12, 11.
fail me.
Yep.
Fail me.
Just fail me.
So, you guys are having this conversation about we need to get going, and Narrowed still... Narrowed, did you ever come out to meet with them, or did you just stay back there in the shadows? Kind of towards the back mountain.
You said I was waiting for them, so.
Yeah, but I meant... Yeah, I had described you at the back, so Clack gets a 1.
A 1.
Wow. Yeah,
I got a 12. Is that enough?
B.O.S E,
I think that's my passive.
they're all talking about chatting, and clearly you either have a send-off party or you've forgotten something, because you can hear footsteps, multiple footsteps, running in your direction from up near the end. The rain's obscuring things, so you can't really see.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. We have company. We really need to get going now.
Let's go right now then.
It sounds like a
Should we
plan.
run?
Clack,
Just-
where are you planning on going? Is the intent to go back to where Clack and B.O.S E came from, if I understand you?
Yeah, that's my intent.
Yeah, so very quickly, Clack leads you through the cows, which immediately, now that B.O.S.E is here, start freaking the heck out. I mean, moo cow running like what was instant. They were fine before, but B.O.S E, the minute the gate opens and his vines start coming in, the unnatural aura of B.O.S E, even though he's made from natural things, freaks these animals out, and they start running, cowering, and Clack, of course, doesn't seem bothered at all, starts heading right through their tight pen towards the back stone wall, which seems kind of stupid. It's a stone mountain wall. But the cows are freaking out and running wild, and you are going to have to pass through this. You all willing to do that, or what? Or just kill them on the way by, or let them loose?
Seems like a good distraction, if anything, if we can make it.
I was thinking the same thing. Hopefully that'll prove to be a distraction. Suppose you might want to. Actually, you might be the most camouflaged of us all. We should probably keep low, though. Yes.
Correct.
You can all now hear footsteps running closer.
We should run. Yes.
Running? Yes. We need to run.
So you guys
we run.
Everybody's down with that? All right, so you guys try and run through these mad cows, which are every bit terrified as this shambling mound of vines and whatnot is coming through, and they just start freaking the heck out. Let's see. You guys shouldn't have a problem.
He's gonna try his best to speed walk it.
I would like each of you to make a dexterity save, please. To stay away from the cows, which are just freaking out because you just stayed in the group. And clearly, while they're afraid of B.O.S E, it's not. They have nowhere really to run. Like I said, it's pretty tight in here. So, yeah, staying with B.O.S E. You guys each get bumped into a little bit, but we're gonna say that no damage on this one.
Can Can I use my danger sense?
For
the cows, because I can see them, so I have advantage on dex save throws that I can see.
Oh yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, yes, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's high enough. Yeah, yeah. The only one down is poor Huxley, who gets really barrel chucked. At
he
one
was
point,
only speed walking.
yeah, he was like, I'm okay, and this one cow butts right into him, slamming him with all of a cow's weight, like almost 1,000 pounds, barrel chucking him back into the one post, and you take 2 points of damage from crashing into it. But you're able to get yourself. In the meantime, Clack, you're at the mountain wall here, where you came out from, and clearly, when you were coming out, you could see what appeared to be the goblin markings to open it, but it appears to be a smooth stone mountainous wall now. Did you leave any type of marker or anything to get back in this way?
No, probably not. I probably just would think that I could get right back in.
So you guys are at the stone wall when... Go ahead, Clack, and make an investigation roll to see if you can find the actual part, because it doesn't look like a doorway from this side the way it did from the other side.
It's a 13.
13 is not bad at all. You're pretty sure that you know the exact spot, but you can't see how to open it. From the inside, it was fairly easy. Just pull down on the one rock and push. But from the outside, it looks like a... smooth. The real only thing here, you're like, I think there's a lip along this area. It looks like it might be a lip to open it, but... And now you can actually hear the cows, which are screaming to run into the street, and you realize, looking back, just on the other side of the corral, are what appear to be about 6, maybe WayWard, and at least 2 individuals that you're figuring are either brown or red bands out there.
B.O.S.E, little help here? Help me through the wall here.
B.O.S.E attempts to try to find this latch, apparently, that's there.
There's no latch on the outside. The latch I described was on the inside. He has a scene where he thinks it's a door. If his investigation was high enough.
There should be a way to push in to get in here, right here.
It's some sort of a door.
Around the area. I'm pretty good at investigation.
Yeah.
Well, actually, you have a 9 wisdom last I checked. So
Yeah, but investigation
investigation
is
intelligence.
intelligence based.
I understand that. So your perception is low.
I'm kind of pointing out where it should be, though.
Yeah.
You can
do we
make an
wanna just give
investigation
Bose a
roll, yeah.
and he has a help action?
What's that? Yeah, I do help actions a little different than the book. So what we're gonna do is, wow, she got a nat 20.
rolls.
So we went with the first ones.
Well,
All right.
you said I'm still poisoned,
You
so
are,
I was
which
at disadvantage,
disadvantage.
so that's 21.
Yeah. And son of a gun, you find exactly what he has, which is a along this seam that he says to you, there appears to be the only thing you can equate it to. It looks like a crack where a stone would normally fit. Maybe it's a keyhole of some type, but it doesn't look like any keyhole you've ever seen before. It looks like it would take something in it.
I'm going to quickly whip out my thieves' tools, and I'm going to try to finagle them around to see if I can pick this, if possible.
You want to try and pick this? Go
Yeah.
ahead, make a lockpick check, yeah.
Alright.
In the
Let's see.
In the meantime, are the rest of you doing anything about the guards that are out there with the cows that are looking? I mean, they can see you, you can see them.
Eesh. This just seems like a tight spot right now. That's a lot of guys.
Still at disadvantage, right?
Yes. Yeah, all your ability checks while you're poisoned are at disadvantage.
16?
That works. Moments later, again, this simple little goblin lock, you realize it literally was it's almost not a lock so much as it's looking for a certain item to be put into it, but you are able to finagle it, and moments later, you feel like it's clicked, and with B.O.S.e's help, you're able to pull this rock open. And there behind it is
everybody through. Go quickly,
it's
go
a
quickly.
5-foot tall tunnel, which is big for a goblin, but small for anybody else. So you can hunch over and dive into it.
Clack,
Getting everybody to go in.
Clack, would you mind going last and shutting this thing behind you since you've used it before?
I didn't shut it before. I don't know who
I'll
did.
figure it out. Just go.
Okay.
Yes.
Yep, you just go right in.
Heading down into the darkness, what about those of you that may or may not need light? Which I don't think are any of you, actually. Wait, I don't think Ganassi might need light. Do you need light? You don't have dark vision, do you, Nerada?
I don't think I do.
Yeah. How about you, Clack? Do goblins have dark vision?
Goblins are good. Yeah, goblins are good. I have, what's it called, 90s infrared goggles on.
90s infrared goggles. Wow. Okay.
Once all of us are in, I'm going to pull this door closed back behind and try to find a way to lock it again.
Okay. Literally on this side, you would have to do an investigation roll to see exactly what Clack had noticed before automatically, because Clack was familiar with the city.
11.
So the door closes behind you, but you're not familiar with exactly why it's staying closed. You don't hear anything on the other side. The stone is actually that large and thick, and it's absorbing whatever sounds are on the outside. But you don't find any latch that would hold it closed or anything else. It seems like when you pulled on it, it swung pretty easy and came close and hasn't opened back up yet. So, but there's no latch that you can tell of. In the meantime, you're all in this tight corridor, 5 foot tall, kind of jammed in, heading down to who knows where. Well, I guess 2 people know where. That would be B.O.S.E.
Yeah, so
and
who's in the
Clack.
front? Because Remy wouldn't have gone in first.
I always be all the way up front, I think.
Okay.
Okay. Remy will sort of whisper, where does this lead?
And I don't know all the places it leads. I know one place that it goes from, though.
Okay,
It
and that
leads
is-
under. That's all that needs to be said. Just under.
What do you mean? This leads south, yes? We
Yeah, south.
Yeah.
Okay, so is there like a village that it opens up into, or?
There's a few.
Oh, great. Which one?
There's these mushrooms. They're not very nice.
Oh no.
What do you mean mushrooms?
Well, they're not the most kind folk, especially if you go snooping around. But no worries.
Never heard of mushroom people in the South.
Well, there is.
It's the deep South.
The deep
South. So you. Sorry. So you mean, past Westerling then, far past Westerling.
Somewhat. Listen, Remy.
Not near New Remnant. Yes, not near New Remnant. That's just all I'm asking.
We could probably get there.
Remy has B.O.S. has no idea where New Remnant is. That's a city and whatnot. So sorry about that one. He's got no clue. They haven't been over that way.
Do they know Westerling?
That's even farther west.
Probably not. No. Yeah.
Go the wrong direction.
That's what Remy's asking. You mean Westerling? That deep south.
Not the right direction, deep.
What? Where the hell does this go?
Somewhere new, I suppose.
It just the tunnel's just sloping down. I assume we.
Wouldn't that mean deep?
Wait, you don't mean?
This entity does mean that.
You mean Drow territory?
I haven't seen any.
You never know.
Well, from what I've heard, you probably wouldn't be breathing if you had.
We'll be just fine.
Savage mountain dwellers is what I heard.
Just stay calm.
No offense.
And just follow us. It'll be okay, Remy. Trust us.
Now would not be a good time for me to develop claustrophobia, so let's just not think about that at all. Is everyone here? Are we okay? They aren't following us. He sort of looks back and can everyone see? It is quite dark in here.
I cannot see it whatsoever. I am assuming we are lost them, but no, I can see nothing.
Here, do you need this? I found it as a curiosity. And I'll hand you a torch.
Okay. I think I have a tinderbox. I can light it.
Okay.
Oh, you need one of those? I have that.
I'm pretty sure I have a tinderbox. I'll double check.
We had you down for 1 o'clock. You want me to come?
Yeah, I've got a tinderbox. I can light it.
Oh, okay.
So, are we sure we want to set things on fire in this very small cave?
Don't worry.
We'll be there in a little bit. Yeah.
Limited oxygen. Limited air, yes?
It leads
Fire,
somewhere, yes?
Smoke. But we don't know how far this tunnel goes. Here, take, and he reaches and he gets his the knife he's using, and he's gonna use his artificer ability to make it give off 5 feet of light and say, please, it'll make me feel better. Use this instead.
I'll put the torch out and I'll take the glowy dagger.
Thank you.
The glowy dagger. Interesting. As you guys heard...
If somebody else just takes and leads, I'm better when I'm not being seen. As long as I can see you, I can follow you.
So you want one of them to hold a light
now.
source?
I'll just follow right behind them. If it's 5 feet of light, I can just follow right behind somebody.
Remy will gladly hold on to his only weapon. So
yeah. I'll just grab the back of Remy's shirt and be like, okay, you lead. Or you follow and I'll follow you.
Remy's only clothes.
Right.
There you go. So as you've been heading down, talking as you're going, moving down this passageway, which clearly is built not as a main passageway. This isn't like a massive dwarven hallway or anything like you've seen in the human lands or anywhere else. B.O.S., you remember how difficult it was the first time coming up here with some of your larger stones. And again, this is built for maybe a goblin and a half, maybe 2 goblins wide. It's built for them walking in single file relaxed and not for all of you. So most of you are hunched over, moving down. Bows, you're shambling along. Much easier now, actually, without all your stones to move through this. And Stranger, as you get down further and further, and it goes on and on, this long passage, and you're like, wow, why? It leaves more questions than it does answers as you proceed on for a good 40 minutes. Now, you never hear any sounds. Narrator, you're listening even with your, in fact, Narrator, I need you to make a con save, please. Saving throw, not a check.
I thought I was no longer... Well, I'm still poisoned, right?
Correct. Beautiful. You can remove your poisoned condition. It's worn off now. Enough time and energy has passed.
Whew! That's a relief.
So, you're proceeding down, and it's been about a good hour or so that you've been moving along down this area when Clack commands you all to stop. And the reason is you are at the edge of a cliff. To the right and the left is a narrow 2.5 foot wide expanse that edges what appears to be openness in front of you. And the only reason you know it's a cliff is that there's nothing on the floor in front of this little glowing 5 foot dagger that the Remy has in his hand. And that's about it. You're like, it's open space. Had you kept walking, you'd have walked right off the edge. Had Clack not stopped you all. And this is just what you remember. Clack and B.O.S.E, you know exactly where this is. You came from the right, and again, there's many more such avenues. It took a long time to come up here this way.
Okay, now might be a better time for that torch.
Okay. Take the torch out and light the torch again.
Lighting the torch, you have, I believe it's 30, and then, what is it, half beyond that? But either way, you can see that this shelf, which again is so thin, goes off to the right and left. Still nothing in front of you. You have come into a massive cavern area. You don't know what it's made out of.
Way.
Yeah.
Correct.
All right, so where to?
Well, depends.
Should we camp here?
It would be a not bad idea. Certainly we're not being followed or anything of that sort. So, and for what I remember, this is a relatively safe area.
Clack
you see mushrooms.
Clack and B.O.S.E both know that this area is not well traveled at all. This area appeared to be, for Clack, he knew specifically, having read a couple things, a secret out for the goblins to come up top. It took quite a while to find different things, and Clack had realized that he wished he'd have known about it early on. Of course, he also wished he'd been able to find the door here at the end. But further on, you will run into a couple areas where you can actually camp, which are open space rather than single file. You also know that there will be a place where Clack specifically knows them as the Dark Dwarves, who were not particularly welcoming. They had their own plans, but you were able to deal with them. The question is, deal, because they always seem to want something. Not that you would knock that. Most goblins want something too. Problem was that they really wanted bows, and actually when you came up through them to get to the top, there was a significant combat section when you had gone through them, literally with bows, going through them, to get up here. So coming back down, you may want to avoid them, or you may want to prepare before them. You'll have a choice down there when you get that low. But there are many numerous spots for you to choose a better place for a rest up ahead.
Well, knowing our past journey, we might have come into some trouble, but it wouldn't be a bad idea to maybe rest for a sec, maybe prepare, or maybe even come up with a different route. But that is where the extent of our knowledge kind of goes. We don't really know past that.
Camp, I believe we might have quite a bit to discuss moving forward, considering we're all probably fugitives now, and Also, where the hell was... And, just to clarify, we weren't meeting Malifor. We were meeting the other person, right, Sean?
What do you mean?
Like, originally we were meeting at the tavern for the other person, not...
You guys would have to discuss why that was there. I told you each individually what the message was that you got. You guys have never discussed that with each other. You have to do that in game.
Yeah, I was trying to clarify for my thing, but
I'll send you a note on yours.
okay,
No,
yeah,
yours
please
was
do.
you were escaping. Remember? You only
Yes,
got there.
I recall that, but I was also supposed to.
There was nothing that led you
Anyway.
there. That was you escaping.
Okay.
Yeah, they all have reasons that they were there.
Okay. Anyway, let's get a move on then. Find a better spot to camp out.
B.O.S. would like to maybe look around, scavenge, prepare himself for getting his rock armor back, like finding things, maybe some rubble, things like that, getting ready. Just in case.
Rocks would be up ahead, Bose. You would know that after you get off of this small 2-foot section. I mean, you can try and rip some rocks off of it, but you're smart enough to know that's probably not going to help your friends walking along. But you do know where there's some other areas up ahead. Again, those areas where you would camp out where it's more cavernous and you can find some loose rocks and start doing that. Absolutely.
Cool.
Just to be clear, too, I came from the south down into here with B.O.S, before I met B.O.S.
Correct,
So
yeah.
I have a general idea how to get back out of here if I needed to get to the south.
Yep. Absolutely.
So do we make it to the camp spot?
If that's, I'm just verifying that's what you guys all want to do.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Okay. So you guys head on forward until you get to this area where it actually opens up into an open, almost cleft to the right. So this edge that you've been walking along and you've never been able to see anything to your left as you proceed down further, following this trail's edge. And then it opens up, a rift in the rock, if you will, and it goes in far enough, and that's where there's many loose stones, and both B.O.S and Clack know that this is a dead end. At least it was when you were here last. It goes back maybe 100, 200 feet. Just a dead end, nice area that you figure, easily defendable if you wanted to take a rest in here. Do you have food? Do you have bandages for a rest to heal some of your wounds and whatnot?
Remy definitely doesn't.
He's got
Remy's also
nothing.
exhausted.
Oof.
Remy sort of slumps up against a wall, a stone wall, and sort of just drops on his butt and lets out a breath he's been holding in this entire ordeal.
So I'm sorry. Is the ground itself also stone?
Yes.
Or is it? Yikes. Okay. Well, never mind on that, because what is it? My B.O.S has to implant himself. That's not good.
You can find enough areas in between stone and whatnot. You can do that.
You're
used
okay,
to,
cool.
Yeah, you're used to finding it. Yeah, most of this is cut into the stone itself of the mountain, but even mountains aren't just one big stone. There's areas of dirt and earth around it. Yeah.
All right, cool.
Is
Go ahead.
anyone injured and in need of help?
If you can, this entity.
Certainly. Huxley walks over and he will cast Cure Wounds on him. Just give me 5 seconds. I guess I just need to roll 1d8 and then add 3 to it because he's a cleric, health cleric-y person.
fine.
You know,
that's
that's
cool.
what, 5.
We're all like, it's like, oh. For the first heal of the game, it was like so anticlimactic.
Noticeably, Clack does not.
There you go.
I guess.
What do you do there, Red Man?
What do you mean? What do I do?
Are you good at anything?
Yes, I'm quite good at lots of things. I make things, mostly. Although the past couple of years I've been between jobs, as it were. But yes, I make things. I'm a toy maker.
Oh.
But I also make things like, and he sort of holds up the knife, that has sort of these small runes engraved into it, that he, or mostly like just scratched from other silverware that he was working on. It says, "Look," and he'll throw the knife and let it return back to his hand. They see?
Do you need anything? You look kind of like you haven't been in a hovel for a while.
That would be accurate. Truth be told, if any of you have food, I did have something at the tavern, but I made a bit of a mess and lost it.
Huxley pulls out a thing of rations and holds it out.
Remy will snatch it from Huxley's hands and then say, "I'm sorry, it's just
It's okay.
Thank you."
Of course.
And he'll start like eating slowly, and cuts a bit of, I don't know, like bread or whatever with the knife, trying to like have some civility and say, "So, I would like to discuss your next move, but frankly, there's still a bit of mystery surrounding what's gone on. Huxley, B.O.S.E, I know you and I both agreed to meet up one day, but I wasn't expecting it to be like this, nor this day. Clack, I haven't even met you, and Nerida, I met you once in passing. I mean, it seems odd that for me to know the majority of you, and for all of this to happen, and us to just be in the same place. I'm trying to understand. Obviously, your business is your business.
I'm very proud of you for trying to understand. I gave up on trying to understand most things a while ago. I tend to just let my intuition speak.
It is odd that we would all come together like this. It's strange. Like you said, Remy, besides the whole, at least telling me to meet back up with you two, there seems to be this odd third party that's binding us, that's told us, it's pushing us together.
Odd third party? What do you mean?
Yeah.
Clack mentioned looking for your friend. I assumed that was one of us.
Well...
But he said you didn't find them.
No.
What are you looking for?
Well... Not really sure what happened, but... It's odd. He tends to show up and disappear really ominously. Strange, like I said.
Who? You know their name?
Well, we never actually met in person. Just more
You don't
just
know?
No.
I don't know what they look like then.
Well, I wouldn't say look like. It's strange that... Kind of like you, but not you.
A tiefling?
That's what you call yourself, yes.
Like with red skin like mine, or maybe purple? Or...
That shade more so, then definitely not red.
Right.
This person is very, very strange to me. Like I said, don't know much about him, but he shows up.
He has a sort of Rembrandt's thinking of a very odd fellow that he. You mean? All right. Nerida, what were you doing there?
Oh, I was just having a drink.
You went all the way to the wall, someplace you've apparently never been before, because you don't have any idea that the guards would string us up and kill us.
No, Remy, I was told to meet someone.
I understand your privacy is important, but if there's something going on, something that prompted, I mean, it's not just like Finch showed, like, it's not like Finch to just show up at the wall out of the blue, and I'm trying to understand. So, what, is it someone like the one that B.O.S.E is talking about? A purple man?
Did it have to do with that stone on your finger?
No. I was told that somebody beneath the wall needs my assistance, a friend, if you believe in such words.
And who told you this?
Let's just say mutual benefactor of me and this friend. You know him.
How would I? If I know him, then why don't you tell me who he is?
Oh, I only know what he goes by. He goes by the name of Har.
Har?
Aye.
Know anyone by that name?
You would not. But I am sure you have done work for this one before. It is interesting that we wind up underground, however, as specifically I was informed that there was somebody who needs assistance beneath the wall, not in the wall.
You don't think they were talking about you, B.O.S.E?
It's quite possible, but I've never seen her ever in my life.
Nor I them.
Benefactors, people pushing us in different directions, entity by the name of Har. This doesn't seem to add up. Huxley, and you just coming to meet all of us?
That's correct. I wanted to be there for the few good people in my life. I have a lot of enemies.
But Huxley, I didn't even know I was going to be at the wall, much less any of you.
Was just
How'd
following.
You know to come?
I was just following the instructions. We all said we'd meet up here.
All of this just coincidental. The time frame, me getting available at that time and traveling. I want to know what's going on. I'm not a murderer, and I've killed someone today, and now I'm underground, and I'm wet, and I'm cold, and
specifically.
I caved a man's head in.
Oh, there was that.
It was the candlestick, I think, in the back room.
That's right. I almost forgot. You know.
This is a bit easy on you.
I suppose.
It's a bluff.
Have you never killed anyone before?
No. No,
so you have to start somewhere.
That's absolutely preposterous. That I could kill someone? Do I look like a killer to you?
Little.
Yeah, a little bit.
Strangely.
Like that much?
And as
So-
he
Like
said-
somebody
as he
who has a
shouts-
lot of repressed anger and one day it just came out all at once, but like you never thought you would be a killer kind of killer.
But here comes another hug.
That's absolute. God, who have I found myself surrounded? And when he yelled at Nerida, like, you know, he like leaned in, like his eyes twitching, the like light from his knife is like undershadowing his face like it's a flashlight, you know, really like almost like frothing mad one moment, and then he sort of just goes back and says, "Sorry, been a long day. What's our next move?" Goes back to eating his food.
Well, you won't be much help to me down here without something. Can you use any of this? And I have a javelin and 2 hand axes.
Kind of weapon is a javelin?
I think it's simple.
Simple?
I think so.
I can use that. The spear. So no, javelin. That's what it's called. I can use that. Actually, that I think it'll throw a bit better than this. And he sort of throws the knife out and then returns back to his hand, somewhat. I think.
There you are. How about this coat? It's goblin. It's, I think, a king's coat.
I think it's best if that stay with you.
You look spiffy in it.
Thank you.
Spikes kind of match your teeth.
Then he's just all teeth. Plopped on the ground.
Well,
I don't
Really?
think B.O.S.E was in trouble. You had me.
that's correct. But before you, this entity didn't necessarily know that he was in trouble. But then he met you two, as he points to Huxley and Remy. So there's some sort of trouble following me, it appears, but
Well, there's
haven't
always
seen
trouble
them.
following that one too, and I pointed Huxley.
That's unfortunately true. I'm sorry about that.
I mean, I don't have too many things that would fit somebody who makes things, but I have a spare hammer if you want to hammer out a better point on that javelin.
Any tools would be great, actually. It might not be much, but I might be able to also help you folks. Would any of you All right, I'm just trying to find what I can make a weapon similar to mine, returning to your hand. Also, if any of you have, a bag, a small bag or something, I can possibly convert it into something a bit more useful, greater storage capacity.
Huxley will take off his priest's pack and hand it over.
And I'll hand over that hammer of mine.
In enough time, I think I might be able to work with this. Obviously, I won't use the hammer on the bag, but might be able to cut bits away and might be able to find something around here to stain it with. Hopefully, given enough time, I'll be able to make this improve significantly.
So as B.O.S.E has his vines plugged down into the earth, literally busting up the soil around him, he looks like this giant. He has become a bush, more or less. All his little fingers, all where his feet are, going in. This pile of rocks and vines going down into the earth. And the strangest thing about it is, as anyone gets close to him, it's almost like the earth is vibrating. Even though he's able to talk to you while all this is going on, there's this strange hum about the area. While you are doing this, you also realize something. That near him on the wall, as this time passes during a short rest, it seems almost like there's a glowing moss that has started. Very faint, almost like stars, into the wall near him. Huxley, you've been able to treat a number of individuals for their minor cuts and bruises, and you've also been able to do that healing and whatnot for yourself. So, of course, give yourself all the benefits of a short rest. Stranger, was there anything specific that you wanted to be doing during that short rest at all? Such as looking at the items that you collected or anything?
Yeah, I wanted to look at that notebook.
Okay. Specifically, that notebook has... Oh, I have it here somewhere. Where is it? And I just had it, and that was why I was hoping you were going to say that. And I've lost it. Where the heck did I write that now? There's 2 separate pages in it that stand out, and they are written in a dialect. It is the... I didn't even think about that. What languages does Nerada know?
Common primordial thieves' cant.
Wow. Okay. That combination with the primordial might actually help you. Do me a favor and make a history check for me.
Sure. 18.
You may add to your languages known. It's probably never going to come into play again. T-set. T-E-apostrophe-S-E-T. It's a dead language.
T-E apostrophe.
S-E-T. But you know it now. Again, it'll probably never come into play again, but you're actually able to make out these 2 pages on it, which are actually appear to be writing talking about an individual who was searching for something in what he referred to as the harrow, an entrance that he was looking for. Again, all the other pages seem to have been ripped out and whatnot, and again, these are some of the ones that are left that you can make out of the few left in this book, these couple pages. And the individual has signed it with what you would think would be a word. It says auspicious.
Okay. You said the word, somebody looking for Harold?
Harrow.
Like the name Harold?
No, Harrow. H-A-R-R-O-W. He was looking for the harrow.
Gotcha.
Talks about getting beneath it, are some of the words in there.
Okay.
And other scribbling in there refers to things like spells, needing magic. Again, these are breaks from the different pages that are left. It's about 2 pages worth that you can make out, but it's not continuous. So you're putting together little bits. And you can take of that what you will. That he was looking, again, for this place, this harrow. And there is one phrase that he says, beneath the wall.
Okay.
Interestingly enough, there's another part of it too. And it stands out specifically because you were asking about the harrow and whatnot, and he's looking for a way to get beneath the harrow. He refers to the harrowing way created by, and then it's a word which has, it's like random letters. So it's not a people or a civilization you've ever heard of. But he says that the harrowing way was created by this. Clack, is there anything specific that you need to do over this break?
I just was trying to heal myself as best I could.
Okay. So do you have healing kits for that and whatnot? Be working on all that?
So are we doing hit dice different then?
No, you're able to over a short rest. Short rest just assumes that you're doing these normal things when you read it in the player's handbook, such as bandaging yourself, taking care of yourself, things like that.
Yeah. Just like cloth and stuff like that. I would assume it's not the best.
Cleaning wounds, doing normal stuff. Okay, Remy, we already got what you're doing, trying to, improve things on the javelin. Hux, is there anything specific?
No, Hux is just relaxing, praying, maybe lighting an incense to help him focus on his prayer.
Wonderful. During your prayer time, is there anything specifically that you're asking for or looking for Huxley, or are you praying out loud so that others can hear you, so that they might come into faith as well, or is this a very private thing?
Huxley is not used to praying out loud just because he had to spend so much time outside of his village like a crazy person. So he's praying in his head. He's not asking for anything specific, just what would be his usual prayer, since he's dealt with a lot in his life, which is, please don't let the cops come and take me away for knowing too much or anything else.
I would like you to make a wisdom saving throw, please.
Certainly.
Beautiful.
Remember, Huxley's unlucky if you want me to roll again.
I will. We're going to use one of those Huxley unlocks because we're over halfway through the day now. So, I got to use some of these things. Absolutely. Re-roll that.
Hey, there we go. Now
I love it. I can't even tell you how happy I am as you receive an answer to your prayer. And it's a voice that's encouraging you as you're listening and you're praying out. And it's a familiar voice. And you can't quite place where it is, but it makes so much sense as it asks you to do the holy thing of donning your headband. Which, of course, makes perfect sense to you, so you do it. And as you put on this headband, you guys are sitting there, it's towards the end of the thing, and she puts on this beautiful golden headband around her head. And then looks around in surprise and says, "Where the hell am I?" His voice changes, and he slips into this profanity for a moment, and flame shoots up his arms on both sides, lighting up the entire room. And as this cleft that you're in lights up, you hear a dwarvish curse from about 80 feet away. Again, somewhere on that path that you had stepped off of, and it's this deep dwarvish voice. Do any of you speak dwarvish? Nope. So you have no idea what they're saying.
I speak dwarvish.
Oh, you do? Well, that would explain why you guys were able to work with the Durgar before. And it is this deep Durgar voice that says, "Holy Hannahs, it's one of the devilings!" And obviously responding to the light that you have just lit up, which casts out into the darkness, lighting up this cave all the way to the back, which, by the way, was not empty because none of you ever decided to check it. It was empty the last time they were here, but was not. And there is something watching you from the back of the cave. And we will end it there for today. I want to thank you all, Liz.
Yeah.
I want to thank Kitty.
I just want to take a moment. We left the tavern. Let's freaking go.
We had to pull the floorboards up, but we did it.
Now it's really time to go hardcore. Here we go.
As if it was the DM keeping you in there this whole time. It's like, oh my gosh. I should have had my screen on when I was doing all that narration, but I lost the Roll20 thing with this layout. Oh my. Well, I want to thank the chat specifically for getting you guys your new overlays. I do want to reach out to Clack's player, Colton, who provided these overlays for us. We just had to adjust them and take a little time with that. And remind all of our chat that this is a group thing. We do it all with all of you. I want to thank you for that. I know Alex is right now preparing for our next raid, which we're going to do in a moment. We will be raiding here, figuring out where we're going. But I also want to encourage you right after this at 9:15 CST, Kitty Doe is putting out her new video, which is a speed drawing of a T-Rex and a kitty cat. And a kitty cat standing up to the T-Rex. I don't know which one's going to win. We might have those down here somewhere.
I do actually announce a winner in the video.
Oh!
So, cast your votes now before you see the video.
So definitely tune in for the raid. Definitely tune in for all that. If you also want to tune into other things, there's always if you want to listen to some queer D&D, the deck of it's deck of many queers, correct?
Yes.
Merida? Okay.
Yeah.
Because I know your handle is deck of queers, but the show
Yeah.
podcast is deck of many queers.
Yes.
And you've got Three Minds by Alex, which I've been listening to this week, and it's just a blast. And I know Colton's also setting up some new things on his stream, as he said at the start. So lots for you to enjoy, not just during our time together. We're also looking at some changes. We might be going to a 3-hour podcast in the days ahead. We'll let you all know if that works out and what happens there. So thank you all for tuning in tonight. I just want to wish you all very much in whatever you're playing. Happy gaming, whatever game you play. And God bless you in all you do, friends. Thanks for being with us tonight.
Hey, everybody.
Night.
Sending you over to Medfamous.
Sparkle fingers.
I already sent us. I just did.
There we go.
Yeah,
Yep.
I just sent.